the year is 2020. I'm a fresh entrepreneur, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, going to every different crypto conference because when we started into business, we actually started a mini data center in a residential community. So we were building out Bitcoin data centers from a very early stage. And we were going to these crypto conferences all eager and excited, and everybody was got these amazing ventures. Hey, Alex, great to meet you. Hey, if you know anybody looking for equipment or infrastructure or power, let me know. We'll be sure to cut you in, right? Wink, 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 right? Everybody's got these deals, these side hustles going on. It's so easy to get distracted. And I did. It all distracted me from my main mission when I started, which was to build data centers. And it hurt. It hurt me financially. And in fact, it actually brought me to disaster. We had to shut down that business. We've been talking about the first of four pillars that help you run a tight ship. The first pillar was course. Inside of course, it's made up of waypoints. So the course sets your full destination, big picture, broken down into waypoints. The waypoints are those key milestone metrics with a date attached to each of them so that you know you're progressing towards your end goal. Those are made up of headings. Each of the headings allow you to make sure that your daily and your weekly activities are producing an outcome that's getting you closer to your waypoints. And now we're going to talk about the third discipline inside of course, which is establishing no-go zones. What's a no-go zone? So on a ship, as you're building a passage plan, a no-go zone are those areas that your ship will never pass. You will never transverse these areas because there's danger present. Usually it's a low under keel clearance or underwater clearances, then there's a real present danger that you're going to run your ship onto the rocks and go aground. These are no-go zones. They're marked clearly on each chart where they're present, and they're outlined, they're highlighted sometimes they're dashed, and it's all to make sure that you are not going to bring your ship into a dangerous area, that you're going to stay on course, stay on your route, and not deviate from your instructions, right? Not deviate away from and be putting yourself and your crew in harm's way. A no-go zone for your business is super important as well. And here's what it looks like. It's going to look like establishing clearly what your business and you will not do. Now, what does that mean? So, could mean in your business you could have very clearly defined offer stack, right? So you're only going to do the things that are inside of your offer. Customers may want you to say, "Hey, I need you to do this. Can you add this, tweak that?" And in the beginning, as you're starting up a business, maybe that's okay. Maybe you're trying to figure things out, figure out what people want to buy. But as your company grows and now you have a team, you need to start baking in that repeatability factor so that you actually can achieve the same result again and again, right? Setting up your team for success. It's hard to do that when your offer is always changing and you're always bending to your customers' demands. You want to listen to your customer, but you also don't want to be having 50 different products that are all custom in which you have to be running around like crazy and your team can't perform a consistent result. So that could be one. But then there's this other one out there that are the distractions. They are the Instagram influencers telling you how easy it is to get rich in real estate, or the YouTube guys telling you how easy it is to make money in cryptocurrency trading, and all you got to do is follow them and on Twitter or X or wherever, and it's an easy path to success, right? At this point, you guys are all well established business owners. You understand what they are and who they are, and that it's really a case of the grass is always greener on the other side. But it always leaves you feeling that little bit of doubt of, man, am I doing something wrong? I'm working really hard and I'm not making nearly as much money or perceived to be making nearly as much money as those guys, right? We've all thought it. We've all been there. But at this point, you've gotten good at ignoring some of that noise. However, there's always a possibility that you can get distracted. So, no go zones for you and your business are all the things that you will not do. Every yes to something is a no to something else. So, you want to make sure that you're constantly saying yes to the things that are going to get you closer to your goal and not things that are going to bring you farther away into those dangerous waters, right? You want to make sure that you are saying yes consistently to the things that keep you focused and engaged, building your business with clarity, moving each waypoint, executing your plan. You're not getting distracted on things that are going to pull you down. Here's a real story. The year is 2020. I'm a fresh entrepreneur, bright eyed, bushy tail, going to every different crypto conference because when we started into business, we actually started a mini data center in a residential community. So we were building out Bitcoin data centers even from a very early stage. And we were going to these crypto conferences all eager and excited. And everybody we was is got these amazing ventures. Hey Alex, great to meet you. Hey, if you know anybody looking for equipment or infrastructure or power, let me know. We'll be sure to cut you in. Right? Wink, wink, wink. Right? Everybody's got these deals, these side hustles going on. And I tell you what, if you want to find if you're looking for a side hustle, there is no better place than to go to a cryptocurrency conference. Bitcoin doesn't matter. Everybody there has got a side hustle, even if they're working for a company. I promise you, everybody got a side hustle. Everybody's working an angle, and it's so easy to get distracted. And I did. I got distracted. And I believe these guys, because I was green. I was so green at being an entrepreneur that I didn't know who was just faking or acting and who were the real players. And it all distracted me from my main mission when I started, which was to build data centers. Actually building data centers, which was really fun for me. That's what I wanted to do. But I let these guys, these other people influence me and distract me from my main core business, and it hurt. It hurt me financially to the point where at one point, I actually was trying to broker these different deals. I had over $150,000 of unpaid commissions that I thought I was owed, but apparently nobody else thought so. So, but most of the deals all went nowhere. Everything always went nowhere. No matter how hard, no matter how many conversations I had, all the time, money, and effort I spent trying to go after these things led me nowhere. And in fact, it actually brought me to disaster. We had to shut down that business. We had to pivot into actual Bitcoin repair facilities, which was a totally different game. But we had to move that positioning because of our focus got lost, and we were scrambling to try to find what was next. So, in real terms, it actually does cost you a lot if you get distracted. So, that's a real story from me in my own experiences. So, this is when I say no go zones are important, I mean it, and I've lived it, and I don't want you to experience what I had to experience. So, there's three moves with establishing no go zones. One, we've already talked about, which is very clearly establish what you will not do. Establish what you will not do inside your business, and also establish what you will not do outside your business. Maybe for somebody it's cutting back on alcohol. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's staying focused. You find what works for you, but helps you to stay focused on the mission and the goal and the end destination. So establish what you will not do inside your business, outside your business as a person. Two, the second smartest move that you can make in helping with these no-go zones is getting an accountability partner. For me, it is none other than my wonderful wife, who is always there to tell me when I'm getting distracted. She has a really great BS meter. I'm telling you, she can sniff out the fakes a mile away, and she can tell when I'm not being objective. And she's not afraid to challenge me and saying, "Hey, I don't think you're looking at this all, correctly. This is what I'm seeing. How are you seeing it differently?" Like somebody that's going to push back, because a lot of times when we see these great opportunities, if we're not careful, we try to find reasons to do it instead of finding the reasons not to do it because we're not objective. We're trying to find evidence to allow us to go tickle our fancies, right? Instead of looking for the reasons to say no. So having that right accountability partner that is objective and can help you stay on course, That's super helpful and super important. For me, it's my wife. For you, it may be a business partner, maybe a parent, maybe a friend of the family's, whoever it is, but get an accountability partner. The third is doing a waypoint check, right? So whenever time you have this opportunity, right? We'll call them opportunities. They present themselves in different ways. But whenever you have an opportunity come up, maybe here's a waypoint check. There's 4 questions that you can ask to make sure that this is at least deserves a conversation. Question number 1 is, will this move me toward my next waypoint? That's the first question. Number 2, if I say yes to this, what's going to get less attention that needs me? Number 3 is, does this build a skill or an asset that I need for the destination? And number 4, what is the real cost in time and focus, not just dollars? Remember my story. Don't let that be your story. It cost real time and focus, and it costs real dollars as well. So answer those 4 questions honestly, objectively, and that's going to give you a really good test and if something deserves more conversation or if it goes into the trash bin. More often than not, it's going to go straight to the wastebasket. This is where focus is going to compound, right? The focus and the clarity and the steadfastness on your track, on your course, is going to compound those wins for you and your company. And that's what you want. It's the companies that lose focus, that are chasing every single dollar out there. They're the companies that are plateauing, that are receding back in market share. Don't be like them. Be the company that's staying focused on the waypoint in front of them because they know exactly where they're going. So if this is making sense to you, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Alex Hayes Fractional COO. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the last piece of this puzzle, which is doing a diagnostic on your own business and how you can tell if your business needs a better course. And as always, stay the course.